Hey, Jessiana Seville here from thekidneyrd.com. If you don't know me, haven't met me before, I'm a registered dietitian, a renal nutrition expert, and I run a small private practice for people that are interested in doing kind of some deep dive work to preserve their kidney function. And one of our missions at the Kidney RD is to give some really good, clear information on what to do, some easy, actionable tips so you can preserve your kidney function. Everyone does not have to be on a slippery slope to dialysis. People that are willing to make smart changes can definitely avoid it. So today we're going to talk about something that I feel like is pretty easy to avoid, and that is iron deficiency anemia specifically. Now, the last couple of days I've talked about how there's different kinds of anemia. Today, I'm just talking about iron. Just because you have anemia doesn't mean it's iron deficiency, but I want to point out a few actionable tips. So, number one, let's talk about some high iron foods. It's always, always, always good to have a food first approach and then support it with a supplement if needed. So, a few high iron foods that we really love include pepitas. Those are the little green pumpkin seeds. They're really high in iron. They're also very high in potassium, but for a lot of people, they can end up working out okay if you don't have a potassium restriction. So really good, high in iron, portable. You can take them with them. You can put them in a granola bar, in your oatmeal. I put them in smoothies, and they'll blend up. I don't even know they're there, so that's really good. Dried fruits can often be high in iron. Just check the labels. And again, some dried fruits can be very high in potassium, so if you have a potassium restriction, watch out. Kale is a great source of iron. Snow peas, if you're not familiar, they're kind of the pea pods that you'd get in a stir fry. If you ever eat Asian food, that's a snow pea. They're a great source of iron. Green peas, wheat germ, and again, wheat germ, you just use a little bit, sprinkle it in your oatmeal, sprinkle it in your cream of wheat, sprinkle it on your salad. It can go a lot of places in your smoothie. It's a really good iron source. Blackstrap molasses, not just plain sugarcane molasses, but blackstrap molasses is very, very high in iron, so it can be another good source. Soybeans, not tofu, but the actual edamame soybeans, high in iron. Lentils and tempeh. So a lot of good food sources of iron that are plant-based that you can include in your diet. And the other thing that we think is absolutely critical as well is well, it's not that heavy, is a cast iron skillet. This is actually a really special cast iron skillet because it is from the 2002 Olympics, and I was a volunteer there. So I worked on the shooting range for the biathlon. So when I was a senior in high school that year, so a good memory for me. But a cast iron skillet, really great to cook in once you know how to use them. This is actually all that we use at my house. There's another thing called the lucky iron fish or the lucky iron leaf. You can just drop in your soup, stews, sauces, whatever, and that can be really helpful to just getting some iron into your diet very easily without a supplement. So, high iron foods and the sturdy, always present, never dies, you can't even scratch it if you want to, cast iron skillet. Way, 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 way better than nonstick cookware. Nonstick cookware, in my opinion, needs to get thrown out. The stuff that makes it non-stick is pretty toxic for us. So that's something that is a no-go for us and our clients with chronic kidney disease. Cast iron, much better. Okay, so tip number 2, get on the right iron supplement. We really like iron bisglycinate, or it's also called ferrous bisglycinate, over the ferrous sulfate supplement. I mentioned this last couple of days, but it's one of the most common things that happen is people get prescribed a ferrous sulfate supplement, which is constipating and hurts their stomach. So better absorbed, iron bisglycinate. Number 3, now, no nutrient ever works by itself, solo, ever. Vitamin C is one of the best friends when it comes to iron, and it helps with iron absorption. So if you're going to eat a high iron food, if you combine it with a high vitamin C food, you're going to get a synergistic, a much stronger absorption. So for example, some examples. If you were to have a salad with strawberries are actually really high in vitamin C, and some pepitas, maybe you had a little bit of poppy seed dressing, on a nice bed of greens, that's a really good combination of a high iron, high vitamin C food. Again, you can use mandarin oranges and pepitas. Those work really well. Another one, red peppers, high in vitamin C, snow peas, cabbage, and edamame in a stir fry is a really good high iron, high vitamin C combo. And if you're cooking it in your trusty dusty cast iron skillet, you're going to get even more iron. So that's another option. We have a recipe coming out pretty soon called gingerbread balls, which are basically like a calorie dense power ball, energy ball, and they're made with blackstrap molasses, which can be another really good iron source. And you combine it with, something high in vitamin C, some peppers, strawberries are a couple things you can do. Okay, number 4, last thing that you want to know. There are some foods that are going to inhibit or kind of block iron absorption. So if you're going to take an iron supplement, if you take it with one of these things, it's not going to be very effective. Also, if you're eating a lot of high iron foods and then you're comboing them with foods that have these nutrients, it also can be a problem. So for example, things like coffee, right? So if you're like, oh, I'll just take my supplement with my coffee in the morning. Bad idea. Coffee inhibits iron absorption. Coffee, red wine, cocoa, and calcium in milk or fortified foods is going to block that iron from getting absorbed efficiently. And so you're going to not want to take something like that with your iron supplement, or if you have like a power-packed iron meal, better if you don't combo those all the time. Some teas can in well. One of the things that we like people to do is take an iron supplement on an empty stomach. If they don't tolerate it, we'll move it to having it with meals, but it's better absorbed on an empty stomach. So some people take it right before bed. That works really well for them. Some people do okay with it first thing in the morning, but I haven't found that works quite as good. But at least it's not with coffee. And at the end of the day, hopefully not with some red wine. So, couple tips. High iron foods, pepitas, dried fruit, kale, snow peas, green peas, wheat germ, blackstrap, molasses. You can look at the list in the description on the side. Get on the right iron supplement. Ferrous sulfate out, iron bisglycinate in my opinion. Combo it with some high vitamin C foods that can be really helpful. Peppers, high vitamin C. Strawberries are high vitamin C. You can do clementines, pineapple. Those are all high vitamin C foods that you can include as well. And then some foods inhibit iron absorption, like coffee or calcium or milk. So if you're going to have something with a lot of iron in it, don't combo it with calcium. Anyways, that's it for now. Please go ahead and check us out at the Kidney RD or kidneyrd.com. We have a guide there. We do a class on, in the 19th. So just tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be that class for people that are getting this video later. And we hope that you'll join us there or go to our website and download our mini guide where we talk through all of the opportunities to preserve your kidney function. Anyways, that's it for now. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.